What's up, guys? It's your boy the Iconic Knight. In today's video we're going to be discussing the 5 reasons that you suck at Undisputed. But before we start the video, you already know the deal. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. We're trying to grow the Iconic Army. We had 67 subscribers. We're this close to getting 100. So if you want to be a part of the Iconic Army, just hit that red button. This shit's free. Alright, let's jump into the video. Now, the first reason you suck at Undisputed is power punching. You're either doing too much of it or too little. The reason power punching is holding you back is because as you hold that R1 button, your stamina is depleting faster than normal. Not only your regular bar of stamina, but your total amount of stamina throughout the entirety of the fight. So if you're holding the R1 button and spamming strikes as you see here on the screen, you need to stop because that's just going to increase your loss ratio. You're going to have a higher percentage of getting rocked and a higher percentage of getting knocked out. You're not going to last the whole entire fight holding R1 trying to cash in that get out of jail free card. Now, what you want to do with power punching is implement it into your combinations. Weave it in there nice and seamless. You need to be balanced. So when you're throwing combinations, it's always good to end off with power. Pepper the opponent and then finish that last strike with power, so you have a higher chance of KOing them and finishing the fight. You don't want to be completely afraid of the R1 button and not utilize power punches, because that's a huge aspect of combat sports and boxing in general. But you want to use it in a balanced manner to secure the finish. Now, the second reason you suck at Undisputed is because you're not using your fighter's strengths to their advantage. When picking a fighter, you want to be able to analyze their traits to see what traits they have that are going to be useful in the midst of a fight. For Arturo Gatti, his best trait is that after getting up from a knockdown, he deals 25% increased damage. You also want to look at their stats. So if you scan Arturo Gatti's stats, you can see that his highest stat is his power punching ability. So in the midst of this fight, you want to be able to utilize power punching when you have openings, because that's his highest skill. Another way I've seen people not use their fighter strength is by, for example, picking a small fighter and trying to fight on the outside against a taller opponent. Like, I would never pick Arturo Gatti and try to fight like I'm Muhammad Ali. It just doesn't work. It goes against his strengths. Again, his strengths were power punching, fighting on the inside, uppercuts, hooks. You want to be an inside fighter with Arturo Gatti. You never want to utilize this kind of strategy against a taller fighter if you don't have that reach advantage. Remember, know your fighter's strengths and use them to your advantage. See, in this clip, after getting knocked down using Arturo Gatti, we're going to rush the attack, rush the offensive, because now I have that 25% increased damage after a knockdown. And this is what you want to do. You want to know your fighter inside and out. You want to know their traits and their abilities, so you can use those at your disposal when you're in the middle of a fight. The next reason you suck at Undisputed is because your attacks are too predictable and you have not gained the ability to adapt. For some reason, you think that pressing square and triangle makes you an elite boxer. You think that coming in with the same entry is going to win you the fight. And unfortunately, it does not. It just makes you more predictable, more easy to time, and it leaves a lot of openings that would not be there if you were able to switch up your strategy. As you can see in this clip, it only took the intermediate computer about 35 to 40 seconds to get my pattern down and then come with counters. This is what you look like when you're spamming online the same attacks over and over. You're an easy target, you're easy to counter, and you're easy to take advantage of. Now, after that first match of being more predictable, I rebooted the same fighters at the same difficulty level, and I switched up the strategy. I started a fight on the outside. As you can see, Crawford was not getting the same success, the same counters, and the same openings that he had in the first match because I was less predictable. coming in and out with the jab, staying floaty on the toes, striking to the body, catching and shooting when I had the ability to, striking in between his strikes, trying to offset that rhythm, dipping my head, getting my head off the center line, stepping back, doing a whole bunch of stuff, check left hooks, uppercuts to the body, everything to keep him on his toes. Again, it's just a computer, but you want to utilize the same kind of strategy and offensive plan against a real live person online as well. Now, if you need help utilizing a secondary style, the easiest one to get a hold of is the catch and shoot method, which is one of my favorites. If I feel like I'm being outclassed by an outside fighter, I'll stand my ground, put my defense up, and strike immediately after I defend the shot. That's the catch and shoot method. So if they throw a shot, you want to hold the right trigger, and once you feel that hit touch the glove, you want to throw something out immediately before they can get their hands back into their defensive guard. This is the easiest style to implement, and again, it's taught in the very first tutorial in the game. The next reason you suck at Undisputed is because you get easily discouraged when your ass is getting whooped and you have zero will to win. There's so many times where I'm watching people's gameplay and I see them get overwhelmed or get cracked with a combo like this, and they focus on the negative. They're like, oh my god, this player is way better than me, or how the hell did he hit me with that shit? And they don't really focus on any kind of strategies to get them out of that situation currently. They're okay with taking the loss. Now, I'm not going to be hypocritical. I've definitely been in this position before, but you have to readjust that and kind of focus on the positive. What is your fighter strengths? What does he have better than the other fighter? Kind of pick up on tendencies and any kind of weaknesses that your opponent may have, and you have to exploit those as much as possible. I have a video on the channel that perfectly represents the situation. I was playing Jorge Linares and I was fighting an Amir Khan that felt undefeatable. He drained my stamina in like 3 rounds. I was already at a flat-footed stance, but I was able to come back, exploit a weakness, and get the dub at the end of the day. If you want a good example as to how to handle a situation like that, definitely go give that video a watch. Now for the final reason that you absolutely suck at Undisputed is because you're sprinting in a marathon. Too many people start fights like this, exchanging in the pocket, throwing a bunch of combinations, blowing their load, not paying attention to the stamina because they're trying to get the guy out of there in the first, second round. They want it to be a nice, quick, and short fight. It kind of harkens back to Mike Tyson's style, to Conor McGregor's fucking style of just rushing the opponent and getting them out of there with just savage offense in the first 2 rounds. You don't want to fight like that in this game, especially post-patch, since the stamina has become more important to kind of maintain at this point. We're going to see what they do in this patch in December. But for right now, the stamina only really allows you to throw 4 to 5 punch combinations before your fighter's completely gassed. So using this kind of berserker style in the beginning of the fight, completely inefficient. What you want to do is slow down the pace of the fight. You want to be able to dictate what happens in this ring. Let your opponent strike. As long as your defense is nice and tight and you're focused, your opponent will gas themselves out and it'll give you better opportunities to find those openings. In this clip here, Carl Froch was really headhunting the whole time, and the body uppercut was there for me all day. I was draining the stamina, and my goal there was, as his stamina drained, he 1, would get slower, and 2, the openings would be easier for me to identify and exploit. I wanted the hands to drop so I could then go upstairs with Canelo's hooks, and then finally finish him off with a nice good power shot to the gut. This is the stuff you want to implement when you're fighting online. Again, you want to slow the pace down if it's getting too frantic and chaotic. You want to be able to dictate what happens in that ring on your terms. So now that you know the 5 reasons why you absolutely suck in Undisputed, I hope you guys implement the tips and tricks in this videos to better your game. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the share button. Let's grow this iconic army. And at the end of the day, man, you already know what it is. And Jesus Christ loves you. I definitely love you. And God bless all you motherfuckers. I hope you guys have a happy holidays. Peace.